but it's playing.
Thank you, Rick. Can you all hear me?
No, no.
We have the rabbi. We got
the rabbi.
I was about to welcome everyone, but I do just want to say it is so incredibly wonderful to see all of your faces for this inaugural night of lighting our Hanukkah candles together as a community and bringing as much light into our world and our community as we can. It's really great to see all of you. I'm going to turn it over to our rabbi.
Hi, Emily. Thank you for helping direct me to this particular Zoom room. Oh, this is so great to see everybody. We have the story of Hanukkah, as everyone knows. Caleb taught me this. Is that long ago our ancestors they were very devastated because their Zoom room was destroyed by a very wicked villain of an army, and they had one Zoom room, and they said, well, this'll have to work. They had one window, and then miraculously, instead of having just one person there, they got 39 people This is Second Temple time. They got 39 different Zoom rooms. It lasted 39 Zoom rooms. And that's Hanukkah. This is the ultimate revisionist history, which Hanukkah kind of is. Chag Urim Sameach, everyone. It's just awesome to be together. And we're going to be doing this every night. We're going to be lighting candles, which for some of us is like multiple candle lightings. We're in round 2, but that's how we roll. So let's always get a round 2 going. And first of all, kol hakavod to everybody who's been a part of this. This has been like the moment. I feel like every holiday that we've reached, we've almost made our way through a year, but every holiday that we've reached, we've been like, okay, what's the next step that we can take? And the hunger for us to see each other in this space, and also just like not, streaming everything necessarily onto Facebook Live, and just being able to relate to each other here. It's awesome. And also just engaging our leaders and having our leaders lead. It's something that like, we want to be constantly creating more and more space. So we're going to have these moments together throughout Hanukkah. And it's really awesome that we're going to be able to have so many of us leading that we're accustomed to and being led by. So tonight, we're so excited that we're going to be musically led by Judith Ruderman and Margarita Suarez, our late cantors. And our adult ed committee is going to be shining all of the light. And then as we move through this, tomorrow night will be, obviously, it's a little holiday that we have every once in a while, I think like 7 days or so, called Shabbat. So we'll be doing that together there. But then throughout this, we'll be coming together every night, except for tomorrow night, 7 p.m. So how about we get our sacred pyrotechnics on? And without any further ado, Chag Sameach, everyone. Let's get our blessings on. Hi, Margarita. Hi, Judith.
Hey, Rabbi. We're going to start, Rabbi, with a song for Hanukkah that everybody knows. And it contains almost all the elements of Hanukkah, so it's a good song to begin. And I'm just going to assume that everybody is singing along with me. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Gather round the table, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, I'll give you a treat. Tzvivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Hi, everybody. So happy. Thank you for that opening song, Judith. I love that song. I am going to sing a song that is probably lesser well known than the one you just sang. It's a Ladino Hanukkah song called Ocho Candelicas. And you probably won't be able to sing the verses with me, but the chorus is really easy. Most of you have learned somewhere in your life to count to 10 in Spanish. And this is almost exactly the same, with the exception of 5, which is cintu instead of cinco, and 6, which is seis. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, cintu, seis, siete, ocho. So you know that, and then the other word you need to know is candelicas, which is the word for little candle. So I will start with a verse, and then you'll know when to come in for the chorus. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelicas para mí. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y placer. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y placer. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí.
Well, Hanukkah Shameach. My name is Chip Conathan. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Adult Education Committee. And I'd like to welcome you to the first night of Hanukkah. I've been asked to give some of the highlights of what the Adult Education Committee does over the last year or so. I did rather over the last year or so. And obviously we can't say everything that we've done, but I think the short list that I have is pretty symbolic of the quality as well as the breadth of presentations that we have. Right now, we're in the middle of a three-part study of Israeli and Palestinian literature, which is being presented by Professor Beverly Bayless. This follows a study of the women's voice in Yiddish history, which was presented over the summer by Zohar Wyman-Kelman. Over the summer, we also had a series of queer Talmud studies, which was presented by Noah Rubin Blose, who's a congregant. We also had a discussion of the documentary, You Gave Me a Song, as well as a viewing of that documentary. And the discussion was led by another congregant, Kenny Dalsheimer, who also happens to be the documentarian. Over the summer, we had an introduction to the topic of immigrant justice, which was presented in collaboration with the Social Action Committee. And if you've been reading the E-line notes, the notes that come out every week from the synagogue, you'll see that there's a catalog of suggested online learning opportunities that are presented within that e-blast. And of course, the highlight of every year is the annual Levin Moskovich lecture series. And this year it was no different. We had a presentation of the feminist history of Jerusalem, which was an interactive discussion led by Professor Sarit Katten-Greivets. These sessions, as I've mentioned, have been led by internationally renowned teachers as well as our own congregants. The sessions delve into Jewish literature, they delve into Jewish culture, and they present Jewish values. They also give you an opportunity for self-learning to explore topics that are valued to you. Since this is an Adult Education Committee presentation tonight, I couldn't let the opportunity go past without having some opportunity to learn and have some adult education on day one of Hanukkah. And I thought that this would be a good time to give a summary of an article that was presented in today's reformjudaism.org webpage. It's presented by Kate Bigham Kaput. And it gives you 9 ways in which you can make your Hanukkah more meaningful over the next 8 days. You can go to the link there to find more details on each of these, but in real brief summary, she suggests that number one, we brush up on the history of Hanukkah, which probably does not include any of the topics that the rabbi presented to us tonight, which will certainly show up next year. She suggests that we learn the proper holiday greetings. And I wrote it down, Hanukkah Shemeach was one of the suggestions. She suggests that we use this opportunity to teach the Hanukkah story to our children and grandchildren. In just a couple of minutes, the fourth suggestion is we take the opportunity to recite the blessing over the Hanukkah candles, which we're going to hear the blessing in just a few minutes. And at the same time, her fifth suggestion is to actually light your own Hanukkah menorah. The sixth suggestion is listen to Hanukkah music. We've heard a couple of songs tonight, and there's lots more out there that you can go online to hear. Seventh suggestion is to have a festive holiday meal. And she includes latkes and she includes jelly donuts, but there are also links to other delicacies that sound terrific and probably haven't had the opportunity to eat before. She suggests that you learn to play the dreidel with your family, understand what Gimel Nun Han Hey Shin means, and how when each letter pops up, what that means from the gambling perspective. And finally, she suggests that you send Hanukkah greetings to your family and friends, and she provides links to email greeting cards that you can send out. So all these suggestions, there's more detail on them if you just go to reformjudaism.org today and look up here's everything you need for the first night of Hanukkah. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Emily Cass, who's the co-chair of the Adult Education Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. Hi, everyone. Good to see all your faces. When we light the Hanukkah candles, which we are going to do in just a moment, we use the Hebrew verb lahadlik in the blessing, which refers to the physical act of lighting a fire. But there's actually another Hebrew verb, lahaskil, which we use to refer to more metaphorical illumination. It means to acquire wisdom, to bring understanding, to instruct, to enlighten. So this year, as Anachnu Madlikim, as we light the first Hanukkah candles of this holiday together, we invite you, our Judea Reform community, to join us in thinking creatively about how to spark learning, lahaskil, so that we may bring light to one another. So we invite you together with us in the Adult Education Committee to ponder what it means to explore and even to interrogate Judaism, Jewish history, and Jewish identity with our present selves, within our present moment. Together, let us ask, what is Jewish learning? What does it mean to learn Jewishly? How might Jewish learning provide comfort and also challenge comfort? And finally, let us ask, how can learning together actively constitute Jewish community in meaningful, sustainable ways? Adult education at Judea encompasses reading and discussing Yiddish and Hebrew poetry together, engaging in Talmud study through a queer lens, learning about Jewish holidays we maybe didn't even know existed, viewing a Jewish-themed film or virtual museum exhibition, and so much more. So we invite you to join us for programmed events, absolutely. And we also invite you to join the conversation about what adult education at Judea can be. And let the light of learning, already glowing brightly at Judea Reform, grow that much stronger and brighter as we navigate these days together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Lahadlik neshel Chanukah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu v'imoteinu, bayamim ha'olim b'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who performed wondrous deeds for our ancestors, our forefathers and foremothers in days of old at this season. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'tigianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who has kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this season. Amen.
And now we're going to take a look at a video of the Chanukiot collection that Juliet Jensen so kindly put together for us. I'm about to share that with you. Let me mute myself.
And in case you couldn't see the thank you acknowledgement, that was to Cora Harrison, who did a lot of research on the background of these Chanukiot. And I think it's time for Ziva to talk to us.
Thanks, Heidi. Well, thank you, Juliet and Cora, for that beautiful video of our congregation's Chanukah collection, and to Emily and Chip for shining a spotlight on adult education tonight. It is really so nice to be with all of you tonight to welcome our Festival of Chanukah. It is no accident that during these darkest days of the year, we have a celebration that brings light and joy. Each of you brings light to our community, and coming together makes our collective light shine brighter. I think it's fitting that this year our Judea Reform annual appeal is during this Festival of Light. As it is with candles, each gift to our annual appeal inspires the next and brightens and strengthens our congregation. I hope you will join our family in making a meaningful gift to Judea Reform this holiday season. And perhaps, Chip, this is a 10th way we might celebrate the holiday together. From our family to all of yours, happy Hanukkah.
Just want to make sure I'm unmuted.
You are unmuted.
Still?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this closing song we're going to have together is a song you may have heard if you're a folkie and you're a favorite fan of Peter, Paul, and Mary. This is Peter Yarrow's song, Light One Candle, that he wrote as the Hanukkah song. So if you know the chorus or the words, please sing along. Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength we know we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together when peace is a song in our hearts. And don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. And it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. And what is the memory that we valued so highly? Do we keep it alive in the flame? What's the commitment for those who have died? We cry out that they've not died in vain. We have come this far, always believing that judgment will somehow prevail. This is the burden
tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
I love how every Zoom meeting like starts the same way. It goes like this. Can you hear me? Am I on? It's sort of like, or it goes like this. There's a story. We'll talk about this more. It's perhaps the most famous teaching about Hanukkah, other than the most famous teaching about Hanukkah, which is about the debate between Hillel and Shammai on how to light the Chanukah. And Shammai famously argued that we should start with all 8 candles and then every night take one away. And Hillel, who tends to win these arguments, said, no, we should start with one and every night add one more, because we always should be growing in light. And Hillel won the day. And it's pretty clear that this year, as much as any, we understand why. So from tonight, we start with one. Thank you to everybody who helped us kindle this light from the very start of this with Rick, who brought it in with a great composer, capping it off with a rendition of Adam Sandler's, Happy Hanukkah. What was that? Put on your yarmulke. STM. No. And now I see some people lip syncing Happy Hanukkah. That's a good thing for everybody to Google right now. Just go over to the Adam Sandler Happy Hanukkah video. That is the way to grow light from night to night. See you all tomorrow night as we bring in Shabbat with a whole lot of light, and with Anderson Levin's bar mitzvah. He's got some great Torah. See you soon.